So always good.
Man, sorry. How's it feel to be back in favor?
Oh, always good. And I play with a tremendous team of golfers. It made me look good. Outstanding organization with Mike Anderson, all he's doing for the community up here, and just happy to be back.
You're still working for the Bucks, right, doing the TV?
No, I don't do TV for the Bucks. I do some community work for the Bucks. I do a lot of team enhancement workshops and leadership things here in the state of Arkansas and Texas, and just have fun, enjoying life.
But you're living in the Dallas area still?
I live in Addison, Texas,
Okay.
Metro Dallas.
You still watch a lot of NBA games?
It's been a lot of fun. It's been fun this year. The playoffs, a lot of fun. So I watched the playoffs quite a bit.
Yeah.
Tried to watch college, but other than Arkansas, it was kind of a little ugly. College basketball, not very good right now. But the NBA has been exciting, entertaining, and very competitive.
Think about Joe Johnson playing, I guess this was his 16th season. What do you think about Joe's career?
Well, Joe, in my opinion, Ron Brewer, Joe Johnson, Almer Lee, probably Corliss, four of the best players, high school players in the history of the state of Arkansas. It doesn't surprise me because I watched him at Central, and I've always said he would be a tremendous pro player, and he has proven to be just that. His ability to stay healthy, to take care of his body in a lot of other ways, and to be very dominant is really amazing. I'm very proud of what he's done.
What was it like to see him make the kind of impact he made for the Jazz, especially there in the playoffs this year?
Not surprising. Joe Johnson's a money player. When he was with Brooklyn, he made big shots. Atlanta made big shots. I was coaching in the NBA against Joe Johnson, so I watched what he's done, especially in clutch situation. And to go to Utah 15 years in or 16 years in and to be a dominant player is really scary. It says two things. One, the NBA has gotten probably talent-wise not as good because guys can play longer and still make an impact. And number two, the players, because of technology and diets, are taking better care of their bodies and they're playing longer.
How much longer could you see Joe playing?
In today's NBA, he could probably play 10 more years. He could, because it's not a lot of contact, travel is a little different, and they take good care of themselves. And Joe Johnson's not only a talented player, he's an extremely intelligent player. And I think that's taken him a long way over the couple of years.
You mentioned watching Arkansas this year. What did you think of the job Mike did to get them back to the tournament and almost take down North Carolina?
Mike Anderson did the best job in college basketball, hands down. And I watched Arkansas, I watched some other teams, I watched their talent level grow somewhat, but the way he got that team playing well together, the way they competed hard, the rotations were crisp, and I told Mike, I said, that was not that you hadn't had good coaching years before. I said, Mike, that's the best coaching job I've seen you ever have, and certainly he should have been coach of the year in my opinion.
The program went through a rough spot where they couldn't seem to get the better players out of state, and that's kind of turned around now. What happened?
Sometimes it's your recruiting, sometimes it's maybe your staff, a lot of times it's maybe the climate in other teams in the conference. I think SEC is extremely competitive. You have great schools you're recruiting against. You have outstanding cities that you're recruiting against, LSU and Baton Rouge, and then you have Vanderbilt and Nashville. You have all these great cities that kids can choose from. But Mike has been able to convince players that he can grow their game, they can become a better player, and he's also tapped into the junior college scene, which I think is very important since high school players are going pro earlier. So when you get a kid, a freshman, it's different than 20, 30 years ago. Freshmen, you just knew you had for a long period of time. Now, freshmen or sophomores, they might just think it's time for me to get out of here. If you're a junior in JUCO, you're probably going to stay 2 more years at that particular program. So I think he's found something special the way he's recruiting now that has helped develop his program.
How do you think that one and done kind of shift in college basketball has required the ingenuity to go to junior colleges maybe a little bit more?
I think the shift has been pretty profound. I think the quality of the game has suffered with the one and done, and I'm not against players doing what's best for their families. I think it has caused colleges to say, okay, either I'm going to recruit this high-level kid that I'll lose in a year, or I'm going to pull back a little bit and maybe recruit down 2 notches. Well, actually in college you have to recruit down 3 notches because everyone thinks they're going to the NBA. And I think some coaches have made the adjustments, and some coaches are trying to chase Kentucky, which you really can't because they're going to always get the top players. All the one-and-done players are going to more than likely go to Kentucky.
What you think about, if you got to watch Arkansas, what did you think of Barford and Macon and what they did this year?
Yeah, I think they have room to grow. I like what they did with Anderson under his first year with his system. I think once they learn how to play the game like he wants them to play it, more consistent and more under control, you're going to see a scary team this year if they can add some pieces. But I thought they struggled a little bit in understanding how to play the game, and then towards the end, they started to figure it out a little bit, and you saw their production go up.
How big was it for him to get those two guys back to continue to build on what he's trying to do there?
Oh, that's huge because now remember, JUCO players, they're like, I'm not going to say freshmen are not men, but JUCO players are really mentally more developed, physically more developed. If you can keep one of those players 2 years, the first year they're used to a more looser system. They don't respond as well, but if you can keep them 2 years and have them commit to how you're playing the game of basketball, we should see a big difference in how that team plays.